His former AAU teammate, Ja Morant, who he gets his first NBA regular season look at.
I see some alley-oops in this game, Matt. Just some flashbacks. Sam.
I feel dunks in that future.
Yes, sir. I see some alley-oop dunks in transition with those two guys.
And they're playing against each other for the first time tonight as NBA players in the regular season. Number 1 against number 2. By the way, I looked this up earlier today. And by me, I mean I had research to it. Antonio McDyess and Joe Smith faced each other more than any 1-2 draft picks in the same draft since the merger of any pair.
Wow,
39 times.
Okay, now what was the numbers? Who got the best of who?
39.
We're going to dive deep into it.
You know what I
Mr. Analytics.
Yeah, we go.
Mr. Research guy.
Smith's teams won 22 times.
Okay.
McDyess's team 17 times.
Oh, I like that, man.
There you go.
I knew you had the answer. We just wanted to give.
So don't ask me anything else.
No. I'm not going to put you on the spot anymore.
Now, what I like about where you're going with this, Matt, and people are going back and forth, Zion's in catch-up, obviously, with the injury, and then Ja is playing just great basketball, team basketball, and so forth. So someone said, well, what if Zion helps his team get on a hot streak, and obviously Brandon Ingram's an all-star, and they jump in and they over-jumped in for their spot? Who do you vote for?
For Rookie of the Year, you're saying?
Yes, yes.
If they do that, Zion Williamson going to get Rookie of the Year. If he playing the way he's playing, averaging over 20 points a game, in limited minutes, and they come from where they've come from in the heat of the pack, the back of the pack, to overtake Memphis and get the last playoff spot.
They get the 8th spot and Memphis is out.
Zion Williams, and he's averaging 23, 24 games during that stretch with the shooting percentage, it's going to be in the high 60s.
Yes, it is.
Oh, he probably going to get it then.
I'll say this. Generally speaking, I feel like I don't have a set number, but I do feel like I have a minimum number of games played for these awards, and he's not going to make that.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't preclude him from winning it.
Right.
But it's a much tougher hill to climb.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. No question about it.
Everything got to line up. But listen to what I'm saying.
Like, he's going to have to average, I don't know what the number is. If he averages 25 and they go on a streak.
And they make the playoffs.
Hold on, is it more the number of he's averaging or the fact that his presence helped him get to the playoffs?
It's got to be a little both.
It's got to be his presence with the numbers.
Okay.
Because he's
going to be tough.
Behind. It's going to be tough.
I can't discount what Ja Morant has already done.
Right.
Through the first
but if they fall off the map,
yeah.
if he starts struggling, they fall off the map, and Zion catches him and they get that playoff spot, and Zion's because the shooting percentage is going to be off the chart.
No question about that.
And he's at 22, 23 points a game. He's going to get it.
And by the way, Ja's numbers are not empty numbers. Like, he plays within the flow of the game. He plays the right way.
Yes, sir.
He's just not out there gunning to get 20 or 25 a night.
Well, the reason I say that, because look at this year All-Star team. Seemed like the coaches rewarded the guys more so winning. Some of the guys winning teams, because you look at guys like Paul George and some of the other guys, they felt like they didn't play enough games. And then you look at some of the guys, the young guys, first time, all these new All-Stars for the first time.
And what I like about John, Matt, being there and watching him up close, all of his teammates love being around him. So for a rookie to come in and get the respect from vets, the coaching staff, all the way up to the management, and guys are saying, this is the most unselfish team I've been on already, and he's the main reason, it's just fun basketball to watch.
Zion's numbers have been really good so far. 4 games, he's averaged 18 a game. 4 of 6 from three-point range, although he hit 4 on his first night.
Right.
He's a plus 26 in those 4 games, and he's staying within himself, as we like to say. 86% of his shots so far have been within 10 minutes.
That's the thing. Look at
he's climbed up to almost 30 in the last game. So the minutes are ramping up.
No, the minutes are ramping up, and Alvin Gentry said this. He said, I haven't had a player where he's, with his magnitude, that I don't have to call a play for. Think about that.
Right.
All the stuff he's doing right now. Not one play's been called for him.
That's the beauty.
It's all flow.
It's not
Alonzo Ball likes to pass. Drew Holiday likes to pass.
And what does Zion like to do? Pass.
Yeah. And the ball comes back and finds you. So that's why it's interesting to see this team get him back. Brandon Ingram's all-star. But now Derek Favors gets healthy. They can play the defense that Alvin Gentry wants them to play. It makes the excitement in New Orleans
They are
really
tough.
good.
If you look at their team and balance it out, when you look at Drew Holiday, then you look at the shooters, and then you look at just the physical players there. Brandon Ingram is a freak of nature when you look at his side. He's the second coming of Kevin Durant. That's what we all saw. When we saw Brandon Ingram come out of Duke, first thing I thought, Kevin Durant. And now he's finally starting to play that way. And then you throw in Zion Williams, Lonzo Ball, Drew Holiday, J.J. Redick. And then you look at Derek Favors,
Jackson Hayes,
the big. They are, man, look, if they get to the playoffs, not this year, but at some point next year, who's going to want to play them in the first round of a playoffs, man? You better hope and pray that they're not an AC, because I wouldn't want to see them. They got everything. Yeah. They just don't have experience.
So if you're thinking big picture, maybe next year, whenever it might be, Shams Charania with The Athletic reported today both Denver and Miami will have interest in Drew Holiday.
Nope.
What's your price for that? I mean, everybody's got a price, right?
I wouldn't break this team up 3D Matt, until next year sometime. I don't know what this team going to be, because right now, as great as we think Zion Williamson is playing, he missed the whole first half of the season. He's still a shell of himself. You're not going to see how good this team can really be until they're all healthy, coming out of training camp and starting the season with that lineup that they want. Then you got to judge. But to break this team up right now, it would be premature, because you don't know what you got.
No, I would agree with that, Matt. It's just a fun team to watch. I say Jackson Hayes, another young kid that they bring in with his energy and blocking shots. So I agree with you saying. Leave this team the way it is, let it play out for the rest of the season, and then over the summer, reevaluate, see what you
Man, J.J. Redick and Drew Holiday, you can trade them any day of the week. They always going to have trade value.
You want to keep that
market for them is never going to dry up.
J.J. Redick, Drew Holiday, after talking to Dave Griffin and Favors, have been three positive, great vets for this young team.
Absolutely.
And they can play.
And they can play.
And you can trade you can trade those three guys at any point. All three of those guys have significant trade value because they can play multiple positions. J.J. Redick can shoot, and Favors can play the 4 to 5.
Right. And have also shown no interest in leaving.
No, they like him.
They want to see what Zion's all about.
Exactly,
when he gets completely
I would not break this team up right now.
All right, much more coming up here on Game Time presented by State Farm. Of course, you can check out the NBA.com rookie ladder and check Zion's progress as he tries to make up for lost time week to week on NBA.com.